All right, so we back. This time, really just focusing on more so a December patch review. Things that I like, things that I don't. Um, so far, we're going to use Jake Paul. I mean, look, the kit is cool. Switch the gloves up. Nice, he does what he does. He's average pretty much everywhere. Decent power. You work your shots. So going into the fight, I get the unfortunate, I get the unfortunate thing that is cruiserweight cruiserweight peak Usyk. Man is cracked at this weight class. You should, if you use Usyk, you should never be having a fight with Jake Paul. Like you should be coasting because Jake Paul, despite how people feel about him being in the game, is an average overall. Usyk got like 98 speed with 98 jabs. Uh, like he has 92 plus, I believe, on like every punch stat. He's cracked. But I say all that to say cruiserweight finally being added as a weight class, the bantamweight, cruiserweight, like all that being added, that should have been there day one. It should have been, but now that it's here, I'm happy. I get to experience, a lot more diversity in my picks. I can finally use Bam. I can use a bunch of the Mexican fighters that were added, uh, Marcelo Barra, and all the new fight kits they added. Elite. I like Terrence Crawford's. Wilder's is cool. Low key, I think Sonny Edwards has the best one. Um, it's a lot of new additions. It was cool. It's a content update, which I mean, content updates, perfect, perfect. I like when you add more content to your games. They have more coming. I believe they have Benavidez in the works as well. Like he's been scanned in, so I don't know when he's coming, but he'll be added to the game. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna add a whole new level because he should be when he does show up eventually, I mean, he should be a fun power puncher that can use volume. But again, looking at how the game plays, hit detection is still somewhat of an issue. But I mean, it's better. It's better. Like I'm not gonna lie, I was missing like 4 and 5. Like I put the game down. I'm not gonna lie. I really was excited for this game. I have fun on this game. Uh, I think it can be a good game. I think it does have a lot of potential. There's there's problems, but there's problems with every game. I'm gonna stick with it, honestly. The main thing I was looking for is do my hooks to the body when someone's standing still track. And now, before, as you know, they broke it, and I would literally have somebody stand still, and it wouldn't track at all. It would track. Let me say that it tracked, but the hit detection was just off. And with that being said, they fixed that for the most part. Like I'd say, I only run into it being a problem somewhat, like every few games. But I mean that's still a problem. But before it was every game. Like I literally was going. People I used to finish, we were going to decisions, and I started getting draws. I had no draws on my record when they broke hit detection. I had 3 draws. That's ridiculous. All because I was beating people up doing the right things, and the hit detection was leading to the fact that I would whiff, and then I would get tired, and then sometimes counting you get counter punched because it doesn't detect that you're hit. You literally just threw a clean. They're standing still. You're literally in range. You just throw a body hook or you throw a jab, and they're not blocking. They're not moving, and you just miss. And then they don't move or react to that, and they're just set up not blocking, and you throw something else, and it whiffs again. And then if they throw something, now it's a counter. It's a counter, which does more damage, especially when you fighting like Crawford and a Usyk where they have like 90 or Roy Jones where I believe all those guys have counter punching of 96 or higher. And if you fight somebody with sting like a bee, it amplifies that. So hit detection is a big deal. That was something that really was, I'm not gonna lie, it was pissing me off. It had me feel a certain way about this game. And I was like, I'm just put it down till they figure this out. Now, they figured out a little bit. It's better. I'm enjoying it again. I'm enjoying the game again as, my opponent, if you're locked into this. One, I've been cut. Two, he's taunting, like, persistently. I don't know what's on his heart for real. It's not even that crazy of a fight to be taunting like this, but hey, is what it is. Usyk is cracked in this division. If you want to have fun, use Usyk. But yeah. And that being said, the hit detection is fixed to a degree. So I am now back to having fights where I'm finishing people. I'm having fights where I get people gone in 2 rounds again, 2 and 3 rounds. Like that's cool. And that's more from them being defensively irresponsible. But I believe that's what should happen in combat sports games. If you're defensively irresponsible, you shouldn't be out here going back and forth and, oh, I'm not blocking my face. He's landed 3 and 4 uppercuts. Oh, he's landing crosses. Oh, I don't block my body. He's got liver destroyer and landing liver shots. You shouldn't last 6, 7, 8 rounds if you're being negligent on the defensive aspect of the sport. And then you're throwing and you're overthrowing and you're out of range and now you're getting countered. Like those fights should end in 1 to 3 rounds. That's my ideal like sport because you should be punished, punishing with damage, and that's how it kind of feels to me again. So I'm having fun, but sometimes you run into, as for right now, loose footwork demons. I mean, I've been using loose footwork. I used Roy Jones a few times. He has loosey goosey. That's cool. It adds to your damage and all that, and that's cool. But that being said, I'd argue loose footwork is cool, and when you counteract it, it's cool, and it should be used as a movement mechanism. But, and you should feel the results of being in it. Like if I am standing flat-footed and I time you entering the loose footwork, that damage should be crazy. Like you're trying to be, which I mean it is, but with the detection, it just doesn't feel like it used to be. If you're standing still in loose footwork, I should still be able to land 2 shots on you in a row. If you're not moving the right way, and that damage should be increased, like they say it is, but you should feel it, and it should cost more stamina. Like if I'm in loose footwork and I don't have loosey goosey, which is the perk or ability, whatever they want to call it, badge, however you describe it, it should have a stamina cost because there's no reason. And even I do it because like that's how the game is played. I'm trying to play to win and be accurate and do my thing, but like if I'm gonna stay in a traversal based mode where I'm more agile and harder to hit, that should have some sort of stamina consequence. And just like the fact that they patched away power punches work because people were complaining. If you miss a bunch of power punches and you miss regular punches, they should all cost more stamina. However, I do think it should be more like a what would I say? It should be like a numbers thing, kind of. If this makes it like if you're missing normal punches, let's say it's like 3 for your short term stamina. But like if you miss a power punch, that should be like 7 because you're like sitting on the punch, grunting because you're throwing so hard. You're like you're grunting from out. So the way in my mind, because I see a lot of things more with numbers, it would be like a 7% on like your short term stamina when you're just whiffing. I'm not saying when you hit somebody. When you hit somebody with a power punch, let's say it would be like 3. Like it would be the cost of a normal punch that whiffs. Like a normal punch that whiffs is 3, and then let's say like a power punch would be like 7 or 8 on your like stamina if you whiff. But if you're landing, a normal punch would just be like a 1. Like you land, it's just like a 1. Like yeah, you threw it, but it's not that big a deal. And then if you're landing power shots, it should be like maybe around the same as like whiffing a normal punch, or like slightly. So let's say whiffing a normal punch was a 4, landing a power punch is like a 4 or a 3, like that. That's kind of how I would view it on your short term stamina. And then if you're getting your body worked, your stamina should, you know, be taxed like that, which it is. But then on this game, the animations don't really slow down. Like they don't slow down. So I'll be fighting like people. Maybe they're using a Wilder. Maybe they're using like a Muhammad Ali, and I have them flat-footed, which means you're under 30%. And their punches, I still am fearful of their punches, which I'm not mad at being fearful of a punch. Yeah, a shot can wound you, but you being under the threshold to where you're so tired you're flat-footed, um, you shouldn't be throwing like you were in round one. There shouldn't be speed and snap on your punches like it was round one, especially when you're throwing them in combination. And then on top of that, when you're throwing a combination in those type of situations, you're you might get hit to the body, and the first one might not do anything, but you should be way more susceptible to like damage at that point, like than you already are in this game. I feel like being dead tired is like the worst thing. So for you to be dead tired, it's that's like a death sentence. Because if I'm not tired, if I'm at like 80% stamina, because I have fights where I'm going into like the eighth round with 90 and 95 stamina, because I try to manage my stamina. This fight right now is not one of them. He was taunting me. I was like, once I get him done and get him tired, I'ma hurt him, and that was kind of my mindset. Like I started getting aggravated because I'm like, he's not even playing that well to like be acting like this. So I was like, I'm just gonna hurt him. That was my mindset when I was playing this guy. So and when you're watching it, if I'm throwing like 3 and 4 shots, like I got off my game plan, which if you've been watching any of my videos, know that the main thing I preach is sticking to your game plan. Yeah, in the middle of this fight, when I heard him, I'm like, I gotta kill him, and that's crazy because I already had a cut and I wasn't being defensively responsible, and I was just focused on hurting my opponent. And that you should never do that. You should stick to your game plan, stick to what works, pay attention to what they're throwing, work the body, work your shots up top off of that, and move effectively. That's what you should do. But yeah, more so on the patch positive side. Um, they hit detection working more often. I do like how stamina works. It's still cool. Like it's not at the best. I think you could tweak it more, and it could be even more impactful. Because I feel like if you want to be a sim game, which is what they preach, when people get dead tired, you got to punish them for that. But the fact that you can get people dead tired is a plus. Like the way I've been playing, I really have got people flat footed in like 80% of my fights if I don't knock you out before then. Like I like that. I like that I can work the body and I see the effects. I like that when I use Canelo and I'm working the body, it pays off. But you know, it's it's a good game with potential, but it does have its problems. But I do still see the potential. I know a lot of people are giving up on this game, but I like footwork. I like the fact that I can evade shots with movement. I think not being on the center line is cool. I think the fact that it tracks when I throw my lead hook walking to their rear side and I shift off the center line and then they whiff like their straight that they might have thrown or their straight strike, whether it was jab or straight. And I land the hook to counter that, which is more so of a check hook. And then I can land my straight off of that and even get to the body. I like the way that you can get stunned. I do think judging should be worked a little bit better because you can lose rounds when I've had rounds where I stun people like 3 and 4 times, and I lose the round just because I didn't land more than them. But like, I know it's boxing and it's volume and actually punches and things like that. But in boxing, if they watch you hurt your opponent 4 times, they give you the round. You didn't drop them, it still would be like a 10-9 for you, possibly a 10-8 if you visibly hurt your opponent and wobble them like 4 times. You don't have to outland your opponent. You don't to win that round. So that was more of a negative, but yeah, I do like the potential on this game. I do like movement. I like counters. I I like the counter windows. I like how they work. As you see there, I like countering to the body when they're about to throw something big up top. You land a body shot. That counter does big damage. It can get them dropped. It can flash drop them. Oh, I love flash KOs. I think more combat games should have flash KOs. I think if you're beating somebody up and they get dead tired, they lose all their stamina, and they try to throw something big, and you land a shot on their liver or on their jaw, you can flash KO them. I like the idea because that's how fighting is for real. You got to be defensively responsible. Case in point, flash knockdowns. I was taunting him back because he had been taunting the whole fight. Um, I don't know why. I gave him no reason to do that. So once I started hurting him, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna give it back to you. Like I'm taunting right back at you. But yeah, the movement, stamina, damage, counter shots. I'm taunting. I'm gonna weave them. Foul. That that was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I love doing that to people. If you taunt me, and I get you real hurt, I might try to sucker you in with like a taunt, and then I'll like evade and just crack you with something big. And funny part is, a lot of people fall for it. So hey, add that to your game if you want to have fun. I wouldn't advise it if you're being serious, but like if you feel like you're in the driver's seat and you want to have fun, yeah, I like doing that from time to time. Case in point, why you don't get too aggressive with a cut. Ref comes in while I have a cut. That's crazy. This is insane. But yeah, I do like cuts on this game. I do like the damage factor. I like the fact that you have to be defensively responsible. I just feel like damage and stamina could be tweaked a little more to make it even more impactful to be defensively responsible. Um, I really do still have hope for this game. They they can tweak a few things, and I think I'll be locked into it. I think there are people that's still going to be locked into it. I think bigger content creators are going to have to unfortunately see some of the changes they want as well, and then that way their audience will fawn back and fall back to the game and give it another chance. But as for me, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. One negative, like I said, the loose footwork merchants where you can't hit them, and right now there's a problem of when they're in loose footwork. I mean, not loose footwork. When they're in flat footwork, like look at Usyk, he can still walk me down. Like, look at I'm moving and all that, but like he's still fast enough to walk me down. Now I am hitting him, and he's slow, and he can't throw that many punches, so that's cool. But he's his movement speed for being dead tired is crazy. I'm not saying that he can walk me down is a problem. Like, yeah, you can walk in a straight line, that's cool. But his speed that he has flat footed is a problem. I find that crazy. I find that extremely crazy. And I also um I find it crazy the amount of speed people have had when hurt and retreating. I don't understand why when I hurt people, they're falling back and retreating faster than I can like chase them down. Like that's crazy. Like it's really hard to get people down when you stun them right now. I don't get why. I don't know why their speeds for punches and animations and all that when they're tired is just crazy. Like when people are tired, their punches and combinations are still too fast. When people are flat-footed, they can walk towards you way too fast. When you rock people, they fall backwards and stumble too fast to where you can't retreat. And then right now, after the patch, one more thing that I wasn't rocking with that I found out in a fight yesterday. When I hurt somebody, they got up from the count and my bar was still blue, which or blue and full because they're still hurt. And you used to be able to run at your opponent, and for some reason now you can't run at your opponent anymore. I don't know why. It's like that. I'm not sure what caused it to be like that, but it's like when they fix one thing, something else falls. But like I said, they fixed the main thing that I was worried about. My hit detection is hitting again, so I appreciate that. And that's all my thoughts. So just Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I appreciate the view. And yeah, man. Stay safe. Have a good day, man.